You gotta have the Nonesuch ball cap too. Yeah. Here's what I've been listening to lately. This, and by lately I mean maybe the past 5 years, constantly. This is Wrecking Ball by Emmylou Harris. I was listening to it just last week, sort of driving through the American Southwest, through Moab, Utah, and New Mexico. There's something about the landscape that just seemed to resonate with the music. It's very, very big sounding music, and I think partially that's because of the producer, Daniel Lanois. He has what I'd call a very orchestrational approach to production. The registers are very filled out. It sounds just huge, and I think it suits these songs. It's interesting. It's really like a song recital of songs by a lot of different people that she just put together into something that feels incredibly coherent. And I think part of that's, of course, her voice, which is so unmistakable and so kind of overwhelmed by emotion. I just find this an incredibly moving sort of collection of songs. This is a really special one. I think I discovered this piece on this record probably my freshman year of college. I found it incredibly moving then, and I find it moving now. It's really one of those pieces I keep coming back to. The whole piece is kind of from the perspective of a child, a very precocious child, kind of observing everything around them, their family, their town, and of course in the end it gets very metaphysical. The text is James Agee. You know, the way Barber does it, I mean, he has that perfect balance of kind of sentiment without sentimentality, I would say. It's really a perfect match of text and music. And the beautiful Joel Meyerowitz cover photo. Here's another great compilation, actually. This is, if orchestral programs were this creative, you know, I'd be at the Philharmonic every night. But really every piece on this is such a wonderful distillation of the composer's voice. Actually, maybe except John's piece, interestingly. John's piece, Eros Piano, kind of an odd outlier in his catalog. Very impressionistic piece for John. Very lacking in pulse, which is, of course, something we think of his music always having that kind of pulse somewhere. I think in terms of a theme, this really works as a compilation. Okay, well, here's a box that, you know, you can't live without. The complete Beethoven Sonatas, Richard Goode. There he is. Here's the, I guess the New York City apartment-sized version of the same thing. This was one of the first albums that I owned. I think my dad got it for me when I was probably 8 or 9. And so, you know, it was some of the first piano playing I ever heard. I remember being obsessed with, especially the early sonatas when I was a kid, both learning them and listening to them. Obviously, there are many, many wonderful recordings of the Beethoven sonatas, but this remains the definitive document to me. It has a real directness to it. You don't feel as if it's him talking about himself. You really feel like you're getting the genuine article with Richard, really with whatever he plays. But I think the Beethoven is particularly special. Here's another very special one to me. This is Robin Holcomb, wonderful singer, songwriter, composer. This is a record called Little 3, and it's interesting. I don't know any other record quite like this. It's sort of a collection of songs and solo piano pieces. Wherein Lies the Good. This is actually a piece that I play, that I've played quite a lot. It's almost a little suite of tunes that you feel like you've heard somewhere before. There's a familiarity and a kind of Americanness to the music. It's very humble in a way. It's very unfancy and very unembellished. And I think that you find that quality in her lyrics too, which are a little circular, but then once they kind of hit you, they are so moving. She's a wonderful, wonderful lyricist. This song, The Graveyard Song, is just kind of one of the most devastating songs about death, I think I can think of. And there's some pretty steep competition on that subject. I wish more people knew this music. I think she's a great composer too. I wish she would write more solo piano music so I could play it.